Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time stopping in, thanks for joining. In today's video, we're going to be going over and fixing something that I've seen a lot in the comment section about my new 2024 Harley Davidson Road Glide. And that is the back end being hideous. All right, so what I'm referring to is this absolutely massive LED license plate light slash mount that Harley Davidson has decided to go with on these new bikes. That's large, okay? Why is it that big? I mean, it's got a small LED chipset right there. So I just don't quite understand why they decided to go that route, but it gives us something to improve upon. So we're gonna go ahead and try this Amazon license plate mount. It is curved to kind of match the contour of the fender. Hopefully I can pick that up decently for you guys. So we'll see how it looks and go from there. All right, you guys, so underneath here, we have a lot going on, but it looks like this bottom part is not actually bolted there, so that's fine. It's just gonna really depend on how big the hole is on this fender. And it looks like if you wait too long to do this, you have a rubber grommet here, but if you wait too long to do this, you're gonna rub dirt into that fender and you're gonna have to really do some paint work or some quality cutting and buffing to get the scratches out. So if you're considering doing this mod, if it works, you're gonna wanna do it probably quicker than later. All right, first things first, removing this ugly reflector. Easy enough, it's just got clips, just pull. Now that we've got that reflector out of the way, we have two Torx bolts. So they are T27 Torx bits. So these look just like they're just screws. They're not backed by anything on the back, which is kind of nice. Don't have to deal with getting a wrench under there or anything. So these guys are just little machine screws. Oh yeah, it looks like there's rib nuts in the fenders, kind of like the same as the seat has. So see what we get here. Okay, that just pops right off. And this is what we're left with. Now, we may be able to make this work. We may not with the spread between this top hole here in the fender and this bottom bolt hole there. All right, I'm just gonna come right out and say, Harley, knowing the aftermarket scene and that people are gonna do this with these fenders, why so big of a spread here? Why? All right, well, we have a dilemma. So here is our curved license plate mount, and it just covers the top hole and the bottom, okay? That's fine, but here's the issue. We have to mount this to the fender somehow. So we either have to mount it off the fender a little bit so that we have room to do the license plate bolts. That way we can just use the existing holes on the rear fender, or, and then we've got a gap, and with that gap, you're gonna see, it'll be about here, you'll see that hole. The other option, which you guys would absolutely hate me for, is flush mounting this license plate light with a little rubber gasket behind it and drilling 4 holes for the license plate holes. And honestly, that would be the cleanest, would look the best, and if you don't ever want to go back to the stock one, it's a good option. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but that fits the contour really well with a rubber grommet. That would look absolutely stellar. All right, you guys, well, after some careful deliberation on the subject, I have decided to drill 4 holes in my rear fender and move forward with this license plate mount. All right, we've got 2 pilot holes drilled. We've got 2 to go. Looking good so far. Being really careful not to work the drill bit too hard. With those small pilot holes with that drill bit, if you snap that drill bit, you're gonna send it for a ride and you're gonna destroy your fender. Well, we're already destroying the fender, or I am, but you know. So, let's keep going. All right, you guys, 4 holes cleanly drilled in my brand new 2024 Road Glide. So as you can see, even after just 600-700 miles riding, the stock license plate light and mount has already left some crap, some nice dirt scratched into the clear coat. So we're gonna take care of that really quick with just some turtle wax stuff, some scratch and swirl remover. That'll get all the dirt out and clean it right up. Guys, we are back in the garage today. I've decided to go a different route. Originally I went with the curved Amazon plate mount, and I've decided that I don't want to get hassled for not having an LED license plate mount, and I figured if I'm gonna show you guys this, I might as well do it the right way for you. So I ordered the Custom Dynamics curved license plate frame with an LED wired into it, factory. It's like 45 bucks. Still got it off of Amazon, still came in a few days. So I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like, and we're gonna solder the electrical connections to the wiring harness that's factory on the bike. It'll be fused, it'll be fine, because it's just replacing one LED for a different one. And we'll see how it turns out, so stay tuned. So this is material I got off of Amazon. It's like 20 bucks, 1-day shipping. It's got, it's all channeled, and then it's got some little 3M sticky so that it stays in there. Anyways, that's what we're using. All right, so I've got the license plate mount out of the packaging here, and I've already taped it up with the trim on there, so that the rubber trim, so that I know how it was going to cover these holes, and it is close. I got you guys a little far away here, but it just covers this top hole and this bottom hole, and but it's gonna work. So we're simply gonna pull the electrical connector that ran to the factory license plate LED big ugly mount thing. We're just gonna snip it and strip them back and be ready to solder them. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a lead, that way if anybody ever wanted to, for any reason, resolder the factory plug on, there's still a little bit left instead of going right down to the very end of it. So, sorry guys. Some people are definitely gonna think I am just bastardizing this bike. All right, you guys, so we've got the connections here from the bike, positive and negative on the license plate mount. We're just gonna connect them like this. There are a lot of different ways you could do this. You could do butt connectors, you could do male and female terminal connectors where they're quick release setup, but I prefer soldering because in Washington State, riding in the rain, I'm gonna get a lot of water intrusion in random areas, especially places like inside this rear fender, and I don't want electrical problems over time. So I'm gonna solder it. I'm going to electrical tape that and heat shrink that, and it's gonna be all sealed up, and I'm gonna feel really good about it. So we're gonna get into stripping these wires back and doing that. Now, when you do solder or butt connector or anything of the sort, you can stagger your wires. So like if you do a butt connector here and then the next one up here, that way you don't have a big clump of all of your butt connectors or your solder joints in one place, and then you end up with a big ball in the harness where all of them are in the same spot. I'm gonna show you what I mean, and it'll make more sense, but you can always tell a good wiring job when you see people stagger their soldering setups. All right, so I got this all taped up. Solder usually just bounces right off paint or anything like that, but I don't want to get hammered too bad in the comment section, so I'll just go ahead and cover it. You got to be a little bit careful here to not touch your connections together, although it is fused and you shouldn't have any issues. This is just a small little 12-volt thing. You don't want to also try to keep your shrink wrap from touching, getting screwed up. So go ahead and hit this positive. So you don't want to touch the solder to the soldering gun and have it just kind of lay on the wire. You actually want to touch the soldering gun to the wire, let the wire heat up, and then let the wire absorb the solder so it's not hot enough yet. See, right now I could touch it to the gun and it would melt, but it's not gonna absorb into the wire, creating a good connection. So you wanna wait, let that wire heat up and absorb in. There we go. So you're gonna see that wire just pull it right in. So you see it absorbing right into that wire. Good to go. So I've got the heat shrink centered over the solder joints. Just heating it up here, letting it melt down. Gonna go ahead and electrical tape this up. You could check your connection again after soldering. It's probably not a bad idea, but I checked it already. I know it's good, so. All right, so we've got the license plate inside the mount now. It looks really freaking sweet. Can't wait to get it on the bike, but this trim sticks out further than the plate. So if we were to bolt this up right now, the plate would rattle around inside the frame, between the frame and the fender. So we need to use some little rubber grommets or anything like that to kind of space it, to keep the plate in up against the bracket and then the bracket to the bike and not rattling around. So there is our wiring running down the fender through the existing hole that they had from the factory, and it's a shadow, makes that harness look much thicker than it is, but there's your wiring running through there. There are your top nylocks holding the top of the plate, and there's your bottoms right here and here underneath this bracket. You can loosen this nut to give you some existing room without any trouble. It's a 7/16 nut. All right, you guys, we've got this thing all soldered up, all mounted up. It is looking fantastic. We're gonna go ahead and hit the ignition and get the first look at what it looks like all lit up. Ooh, come on, you guys. That looks so freaking good. That is so much cleaner than the big, ridiculous factory license plate light. Super bright, super clean. Custom Dynamics brought out a really nice product. The gloss black matches all of the other gloss black on the bike. All right, you guys, that is a wrap on this one. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for the continued support. And come on, that looks dang good. For 50 bucks, completely changed the back end of this bike. You can't beat it. I'm gonna leave everything in the description below so that you guys can do it as well. Please give this video a like. Consider subscribing if you have not already. I'm gonna be bringing a lot more content about my 2024 Harley Davidson Road Glide, my Triumph Speed Triple 1050, and my Kawasaki KX250F. Maybe do some trail riding on that with the mic and my helmet. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments down below. How to do this, tell me I'm an idiot for drilling holes in my brand new bike. Whatever you got, leave it down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next one.